Hello everyone, thank you very much for being again here to watch a new tutorial made by me. I'm Elle with Elle Furniture, and in this week's project we are gonna work on an entire room at the B&B Villa Speranța in Romania. For this room I didn't have a set of furniture, I just had some pieces of furniture, very different shapes, different materials. Some of them are made by wood, some of them are made by MDF, so I wanted to connect them somehow and make them look like a set for the rooms, as I said. So this is for room number 2, and I chose these very beautiful molds from Woodubend molds for adding a little bit of character, and also, as I said, to unify the pieces. You will see, actually you saw in the beginning that I plan to put also on the wardrobe, which is MDF, I plan to put also the same mold. So I glued the mold the same on all furniture. It doesn't matter if it's wood or if it's MDF, they go the same. So I'm heating them, as you could see in the previous videos. Maybe I heat them and they become flexible, and I glue them on the furniture, and after the glue is dry, I'm coming with the primer. So this is the primer that I'm going on for all the furniture in the B&B, because it's gonna be heavily used, so it's better to play safe. So I apply it on the mold with a brush, and on the flat surface I go with this roller. It goes super easily and it has a very good coverage. I really recommend this Sinzzer. And while the other furniture are drying, I'm already cutting the decoupage paper. It's called Abstract Trellis, and it's from Posh Chalk Deluxe Decoupage paper, part of the Woodubend molds from UK. So what I'm doing here, I put a little bit of water on the margin, and that will help me to make the margins easier to be breakable. So I'm breaking the margins, and I'm using this technique so that I can have a very smooth and seamless transition in between the area where I have decoupage paper and where I have the paint. So here I'm applying the glue. I use the Mod Podge and I water it down, maybe like 80% Mod Podge and 20% water, so that it will become a little bit more liquidy. It helps when applying the decoupage paper, at least for me. And here, after like half an hour, I'm coming with an abrasive sponge and I cut all the margins, the extra, as you can see here better. All the extra margin of the decoupage paper which is not glued on the furniture. So I go all around with I think I have 220 grit on the sponge, on the abrasive sponge, and then I come with a clean microfiber cloth and I remove all the extras. And while the decoupage paper is drying, I'm painting the body of the furniture. So I want to create a little bit of texture, and I have this chalk big pieces in hand, and I want to create a little bit of powder. So that's what I was doing here. I was cutting in smaller pieces the chalk, and then I made it like a powder with different sizes, which is very good for what I want to achieve. I'm going with a blend of Katja's Shadow Grey and Amsterdam Green from Annie Sloan. Both of them are chalk paints. And I add, as you can see, from time to time a little bit of chalk. That will help me distress later on some of the areas. So where I have the chalk, then I'm coming, you will see later on, I'm coming with an abrasive sponge or with a spatula, and I remove those small beads of chalk. And that will create that will help me create an old world look. So other than just dipping the brush in the paint, I don't do. As you can see, I stipple the furniture, so I use this tap 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 motion. This is the coat 1, so I just want to have a good coverage everywhere. I don't care about how the blend really looks. I just put the colors in order on the furniture, and that's it. I will perfect everything you will see in the coat number 2. So I just want to have a little bit of transition. I don't care for the transition to be smooth or anything. We will have time to perfect it. And I go all around, also on the corners. I'm coming a little bit with the shadow gray, and I'm darkening a little bit the corners. And I don't forget to get a little bit of the chalk, and I add here and there, and you will see how nicely it will look when I remove it. And I go the same also on the wardrobe. As you can see, I already applied the molds, because I have two on the door. This is an MDF furniture, and this is the gray, the shadow gray, and I'm putting it on the mold so that I can create a little bit of a darker area around the mold. That will help me, or help the mold pop up nicer on the furniture. And now this is the second day. I let it dry overnight, and I'm coming with an abrasive piece of paper. I don't know how to call this. Sorry, it's abrasive anyway, and I think it's a 220 grit. And I'm distressing it, and I kind of remove all the beads from the chalk, or most of them, not all of them. So this is only one coat of paint with the chalk, and I also use an abrasive sponge. This, I think it's a 400 grit. And as you can see also on the door, I do the same. I also use a wet microfiber cloth to remove a little bit of the dust, and also it helps me to make less dust when I'm wet distressing before, because that's what I'm doing. So I'm wet distressing a little bit the surface, then I'm coming with the sponge, and again I remove the dust with the microfiber cloth. And I go all over. So this is coat number 1 of paint, and I just removed all the extra. And this is number 2, the coat number 2 of the blend. So as you can see, I'm using a matte, and I blend the paint also on the matte, because I want to go with the same brush. As you can see, I don't change the brush. So I'm coming from the darker color to the lighter color, and I'm using the matte, which I place it on the floor, and that's where I actually blend. This is one of the techniques for blending. There are many others, but for what I want to achieve, this is the best, because it makes it look more I don't know, old, and I like it better for this project. And around the mold, I'm coming, as you can see, I barely have paint on the brush, because I want to introduce the gray. And now I'm coming with the gray, and I create a little bit of darker shade around the mold. It will help me achieve that old world look later on, when I will play with the washes and then with the waxes. So this will help. Now it doesn't make a lot of sense, but later on it will. And this is the time when I'm doing the wash. So I have 2 coats of blend underneath this wash. So I already perfected the blend, as you could see, in coat number 2 on the tall wardrobe. And now I'm doing the wash. I'm using milk paint for the wash. I prefer it because if I don't put any additive inside, it's pure milk paint, and you can remove it completely. If I want, I can remove it completely from the furniture. So I prefer this one. It won't stain the furniture more than I want. And I'm removing also with a little scraper and a spatula. I'm also removing some of the chalk beads, which I didn't remove from the first coat. As you can see, so now I do the wash, and I still have a little bit of chalk, and I'm coming first with the sponge, and I remove the extra of the paint, and then I take this small scraper and I scratch the furniture, and I remove all the beads or most of the beads from the chalk. And here, for a little bit of drama, I add a little bit of Barcelona orange from chalk paint, any Sloan, so that I can create this illusion of rust. So I repeat the process also on the wardrobe. This is the color is Algonquin and the Bayberry, both from Milk Paint. I will add the links in the description of the video, so if you want to see the products that I'm using, you can check the description. And after this is another day, so all the paint is dry, and I'm coming with a wax, and I am applying a coat. I already applied the first coat, and this is the second one of clear wax for a better protection. And this is some darker wax. I apply a mix of brown and black wax over the mold and over the corners where normally you have shadows on the furniture. And I remove all the extra with a clean natural bristles brush from Stylmeister. And now I'm coming with this artist brush, and I apply a little bit of gilding wax for a little bit of more, I don't know, interest. I put all these light from the gold on the higher points of the furniture, where normally the sun hits the surface and creates beautiful shadows of lights on the furniture. So I tried to imagine how the light would hit the surface. I hope you like it. And after applying the gold gilding wax, I'm using Pebeo gilding wax. And then I'm coming with this artist brush and some black wax, and I feather this black wax over the gilding wax, and that will create this old look, old gold used. I don't know, in reality at least, I really like it, and it really looks like an old furniture. And I'm repeating the process also over the surface of the decoupage paper. I already applied 3 coats of protection. I'm going with a top coat from Fusion. And I let it dry, and then I'm coming with the waxes just for the beautifying part. It doesn't work for protection, just for the beauty and the aesthetics. And then I'm coming after the dark black waxes, I'm coming with the gold, and I make this kind of I don't know, shadow kind of. Then I'm coming and I remove a little bit of the extra with this Stylmeister natural bristles brush. It's an amazing brush. And a little bit of hand also. And I repeat the process also over the wardrobe. I didn't film the wardrobe. I filmed a little bit from the dresser. As you can see, I'm coming over the Barcelona orange, where I created the rust, and I come and I create a little bit of like dirt, but not dirt, like, I don't know how to say, some shadows, and I don't know, it's in my mind, and that's how I envisioned it. Of course, it's up to you if you go with shadows or just go with a little bit of gold on the corners or not. So this is how I see it, and you can adapt, and you can just take a little bit of ideas from the video, and if you try to do something using what you are learning from me, I hope you will leave a message and let me know that you learned something from me. That would make me so happy. And now let's get back to the furniture. I continue the same. I repeat the process all over the piece, coming with this mix of brown and black waxes. I also open the door so that I make sure that I create all the shadows everywhere, where normally we would have shadows on the furniture. And I'm following all the distressing that I created with the scraper and the spatula. And I make it look old and used and dirty a little bit. I don't know why I like this style so much. And also for the B&B, it's a very good style because if any accident happens, then the furniture will not look bad if you just have something broken. Now with this style, it will make any problems disappear. I think so. I hope you like it too. And these are the final touches with a little bit of black over the gold. And it's ready. The room is really small, so we have these little and delicate tables. And with that mold, they really look super elegant. And the paper with some ombres. And also the dresser and the wardrobe. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, have beautiful, beautiful days. Thank you. Bye.